All right. Hello. It is Wednesday, and hopefully, I will see each of you at parent-teacher conferences. We're going to get started with the standard algorithm. Then I'm going to do jokes. Then I'm going to do the homework because I just want to make sure we're, getting in the right practice here. All right. So let's start with that, and then we'll do jokes, and then we will finish the lesson 16. Okay. Also, just hope that everyone's able to see. I definitely want to make sure that if we're going through the effort of doing the video and watching it, that we can see. So we have 67 times 22. I'm lining everything up to the right. I have 2 times 7. So now I'm going to get to use my upper boxes to carry. So let's check this out. 2 times 7, that's 14. I'm going to drop the 4, bump the 1. 2 times 6, 2 times 60, it's going to be 12 plus 1 is 13. I'm done with this. Okay, I'm also done with the 2. 1x, 1, 0. Pay it dust. And then I have again 2 times 7, which means I'm carrying again 10, right? But I put the 14 here. And then 2 times 6, 12, plus 1 more is 13. I put the number out there. That's okay because of the place values. And then I have 1,474. All right, let's try the next one. Leave the space for bar or carrying. And I have 19 times 22. Notice my numbers always go all the way into the corner up against the wall here. All right. 2 times 9 is 18. I'm going to drop the 8, bump the 1. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. Okay, and I'm done with the 2, dust, and I'm also done with the 1, which I'm going to see again, but I want to get in the habit of just crossing that off so it doesn't confuse me in the future. Then I have 2 times 9, which is again another 18. It's okay, I'm going to carry that 1. And then I have 2 times 1, or 20 times 10, which is 2 plus 1 more is 3. Okay, so I'm going to get 8. 8 plus 3 is 11. 3, 4. 418, which makes sense because it's like 20 times 20, which is 400. Okay, next one. I'm leaving spaces and I do 82 times 34. And then I have 4 times 2, 8. 4 times 8, 32. Pay it dust. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 8 is 24. One number in each box. 8, 8, 7, 2. Okay, if you did this on your own, maybe you're just using this to check your work. Awesome. If you're still using it to get in the habit, awesome too, because we're going to be standard algorithm machines. 3 times 1, 3. 3 times 7 is 21. Notice 1 digit per block. And then pay it dust. 1x, 1, 0. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 7 is 14. I have 3, 3, 6, 1. 1,633. All right, I have 2 more. Okay, make sure we can see. 54 times 16. 6 times 4 is 24. Drop the 4, bump the 2. 6 times 5 is 30. Plus 2 more is 32. Done. Done. Pay dust. Then 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 5 is 5. 4, 6, 8. All right. And then I have 63 times 42. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 6 is 12. And then I am done with this too. 1x, 1, 0. And then 4 times 3 is 12. I'm going to drop the 2, bump the 1. And then really I have 40 times 60, which I know is going to be like 2,400 plus another 10 up here. So it's really 4 times 6, 24, 25. See how it's 2,500 here in the place values. And I have 6, 4, 6, 2. All right. So hopefully you had that. And let's get to some jokes. Okay, here I am back with the joke. What made Miss Ginny, the math teacher, suspicious of prime numbers? because they're all odd except for one, which is the one prime number that is not odd. There is only one prime number that's not odd. So definitely some bonus points if you can write it in the thoughts and questions and conclusions area. Okay, I think I have one more. I do. Why did the student, and I think I said this earlier or last week, but why did the students wear his glasses in the maths class? Because it improved division, like his vision, but really like division. Sometimes we use de for the, and so anyways, okay. If I stop sharing there, just wanted to say hello. It is Wednesday, right? November 13th. I look forward to meeting your parents. But let's get started on the homework. We just worked on our standard algorithm multiplication, and now we're going back to fraction division, right? So we have a dividend and a divisor, and then the quotient. And we're going to be asking ourselves, is my quotient going to be more or less than 1 based on my dividend size and my divisor size? All right, so let's look at this. This says 5 divided up by 1/2. So I'm splitting 5 into halves, which I know in 1/5, if I'm splitting that in half, there's 2 things. This is 1/2 and 1/2. So I'm going to get 2 times 5, and that's going to be 10, because I'm going to have 10 groups of, I'm going to say sets of 1/2 in 5. Okay, because then this is times 5. 2 times 5. All right, good. This one starts off super small, and then I'm splitting it even smaller. So I have to take a half, and then I have to split it by 5. So I'm going to have a super small fraction. So it's going to be, if I'm dividing it up by 5, that 1 serving is 1/5, or 1 part is 1/5 of 1/2, which is a super small number. That's 1/10. So I started with a small piece, less than 1, and divided it into even smaller pieces. If the dividend is a whole number, like here, so is the quotient. Ooh, look at that. If the dividend is a fraction, so is the quotient. Oh, good. Okay. Look at that. Okay. Okay. All right. So let's sort these expressions by writing them in the correct box below. Okay. There's either greater than 1 when my dividend is a whole number, or less than 1 when my dividend is a fraction. So first, I'm going to see the value of the expression greater than 1. I'm going to put 30 divided by 1/2 here. And I'm done with that one. And then I'm going to also put 15 divided by 1/3, because I know it's going to be a large number, because if I have 1/3 if I have pieces of 1/3 in 1, there'd be 3. 3 times 15 is 45. Anyways, and then I also know 22 divided by 1/4 is greater than 1, which leaves me with 1/6 divided up into 9 smaller pieces, super small, 1/5 divided by 12, 1/60th, and then 1/8 divided up by 7. This could be like 1/56. Okay, so we used all 6. It just said sort. Okay, but now it would like us to find the actual value of each expression above. So I'm going to start with 30 divided by 1/2. And I'm going to ask myself, well, how many halves in 1? Oh, there's 2. 2 times 30 gives me 60 parts. 15 divided by 1/3. How many thirds in 1? Oh, 3. 3 times 15 is 45 parts. And then I have 22 divided by 1/4. How many fourths? 1/4 in 1. Oh, there's 4. 4 times 22 is 88 parts. Then I have these smaller numbers. I have 1/6, super small fraction, divided up by 9. If I'm dividing it by 9, each piece is going to be 1/9 of 1/6. That's 1/54th. That was the math fact that was really hard for me in 4th grade, was 9 times 6. I kept mixing it up with 8 times 7. Anyway, if I have 1/5 and I'm dividing it by 12 pieces, I want 1/12. Division is always about finding the amount of one of something. Um, of, excuse me, 1/5. That's going to be 1/60th. Okay, super small. And then finally 1/8, my other nemesis problem, divided by 7. If I'm splitting 1/8 into sevenths, I want 1/7 of 1/8, which is 1/56. Yikes. Okay, super small. Okay, now the next one says write a story problem to represent 3 divided by a half. Okay, well, let's say, you know what? I know that Sky and Layla worked on their study guide over the weekend, which is awesome and like way ahead of everything. So I'm going to say Sky and Layla had 3 gallons of ice cream. Okay, so I'm starting with that. It's my dividend. They served their friends 1/2, oh my gosh, this is so much, gallon of ice cream each. Okay, my question is going to be how many friends got 1/2 a gallon, which is, like I said, it's like 2 Ben and Jerry's things. A 1/2 gallon of ice cream. That's so much. Who thinks they could eat a 1/2 gallon? I can actually eat multiple gallons. But anyways, all right. So yes, so I have 3 and I'm dividing it up by 1/2. I want to know how many halves in 3 and how many 1/2 in 3. And I can draw it obviously. This is 1 and this is 1/2. And then I would have, there's 2 of it here. So then if I have 3 times 2, it's going to be 6 friends. Because there's 2 and 1, 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, they served 6 friends 1/2 gallon each. Okay, I tried to write that really neat. I know you gave me the feedback about that. So I'm trying really hard. Okay, that was awesome. Way to go, Sky and Layla. You girls are really great. Okay, we have some more here. We're going to determine the correct operation. We're going to write the equation and we're going to solve. A leftover tray of lasagna is 1/3 full. Troy ate 3/4 of the leftovers. How much of the whole tray did Troy eat? Oh, Trey and Troy. Okay. One thing I like to do is to use words to represent the numbers, and then I can just actually replace the numbers like where the words were. So if I have 3/4 of the leftovers, I'm gonna replace leftovers with 1/3. And I know that that is now multiplication. So I'm going to find some common factors. It's a little bit advanced, but I think you could handle it. But if we didn't do that, we would have gotten 3/12, which is also just 1/4. Troy ate 1/4 of the whole tray. Trey and Troy. Okay, let's look at the next one. An orange weighs 1/4 of a pound. Talia cuts the orange into 4 equal slices. All right, so cutting immediately making me think of division. And so I need to know what I'm starting with. I'm starting with 1/4 and I'm dividing it by 4 slices equal, which lets me know division. So I have to ask myself if I'm dividing it by 4, I need the answer of 1/4 of the 1/4. So she's going to give each person 1/16 of a pound of orange. Okay. All right, let's look at the next one. A thermos holds 5-6 liters of water, so almost all of 1 liter. During a hike, Celia drank 2/3 of the water. There's my cue, 2/3 of water. And then I'm going to replace the word water with 5/6 because that's what I have of the water. 2/3 of 5/6. I'm going to get 10/18 or 5/9, right? Divided by 2, divided by 2. Okay, so Celia drank 5/9 liters of water. All right, we're almost there. A package contains 3.5 pounds of chocolate chips. If Shayna used 3/4 of the package for her cookie recipe, how many? Okay, so 3/4 of the package. And then I can just replace that word package with what the package actually weighs, 3.5. Oh, this is good because we still are making some of those mistakes there. And it's 3/4 of 3.5, which is multiplied. So, okay. So I have 3/4 times 3.5. This is an and, which means that I'm going to have 2 problems plus something else here. All right. I'm going to have 3/4 times 3. Okay. And then I'm going to have 3/4 times 1/2. Sometimes we make that mistake of like multiplying whatever we get here, then times the 1/2. No, set this up first. Because it's a mixed number, it needs to be multiplied by the 3/4 separately and then add them. Okay, this is like absolutely essential. I want to see this correct on everyone's paper. If you correct yours, that's even stronger because then you will, start to make it a habit. So now I'm going to get 9/4, but I'm going to write it over here. 9/4, because that's 3 times 3 over 4 plus 3 times 1. 3, 4 times 2 is 8. Okay, so now I'm going to convert this into, you know what? You know what actually might be better here because I end up having different denominators. I'm gonna pause here and I'm going to start over. And then I'm probably going to use this space. So that's going to be okay. All right. I'm starting over because I have 2 denominators that are different. I can definitely solve that and multiply this by 2 and get 18/8. That's not technically what we're learning here. Here we're trying to be multiplying mixed numbers and fractions. So if I have 3/4 of 3.5, and I know I'm going to have different denominators, I'm going to just turn this into a fraction greater than 1. All right, so that's 3 sets of 2, 6 plus 1 more is 7/2 times 3/4. And that's just going to be a little bit easier for me. 3 times 7, and I don't use that word easy often, but it definitely does help. 21, how many 8s in 21? 8, 16, 2, 16, and I have 5 left. So I have 2 wholes and then 5/8 pounds. Okay, because it was the pounds of the cookie. All right. So I'd be looking for you to turn this into an improper fraction, aka known as a fraction greater than 1, clearly, because it's coming from 3/2. 3.5. Oh my gosh, 3.5. Okay. Last one. John had 5 liters of water that he poured into 1/3 liter. So, okay. So he has a big amount and he's pouring them into little containers. So we are starting with 5 and we are splitting it up by 1/3. And if I'm going to have 1/3, that means 3 per liter times 5 is going to be 15 bottles filled. All right. And I'm just immediately picturing that this is 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. This is 1 liter, and then we have 5 liters. So I multiplied by 5, and I had 3 bottles times 5 equals 15 bottles. See, liter matches, bottles matches, and look at this. Amazing, kept in proportion. All right. Well, like I said, our test is Tuesday, so please make sure that you are mastering this and double checking and triple checking your work. And I look forward to meeting your parents on parent teacher conferences, and I will see you soon. Night.